this is not a video I ever would have imagined I'd be making, but here we are. Let's do our scripture reading and then we'll talk about it. Today's scripture reading comes from Matthew 5, verses 10 through 12. Blessed are those who have been persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you and persecute you and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward in heaven is great, for it is in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you. Well, guys, as you know, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Last week was horrific and full of negativity and evil. I don't want this video to be about that. I want this video to be an encouragement and to be about some positivity. But I can't just ignore, obviously, the evil that happened last week. Evil is real. Spiritual warfare is real. The devil is real, and it is more. Devil and evil is more prevalent today than ever before. And we need to do something about it. Us Christian men need to do something about it. We'll talk about that in a second. Talk about Charlie's shirt. But the positive side, the encouragement side, Charlie was a Christian and he's now in heaven. And that is a beautiful, awesome thing because he is more alive than ever right now. He's getting to worship the Lord, and what a beautiful, amazing thing that is. So obviously we don't have to be happy about how it happened and how he died, but we can rejoice in the fact that he's now in heaven. And that, like I said, is a beautiful thing, and that's cool. So we can rejoice in that. And we can rejoice in how the country has responded and the world really has responded to his assassination. A revival has started, and I want to ensure and see that that continues to happen. People are waking up. People are seeing the wrong and the bad and the evil that is prevalent in our nation and across the country, and that is an awesome thing. Again, don't have to be happy at all about what happened and how it happened, but we can be glad and rejoice in the outcome of the hand that was dealt, essentially. And I don't say that to make light of the situation at all, but because again, it was a horrific thing that happened, and just true evil. There's no other way around it. It was evil. But I want to talk about Christian men real quick, and we'll talk about Charlie's shirt, because evil is more prevalent now than ever before, and it is, in my opinion, largely in fact due to Christians, and specifically Christian men who have continued to fail over and over and over and over and over again. I put myself in that category. I'm no better than anyone else, but Christian men have failed in today's society. We are so afraid to be bold in our faith, to be courageous in what we believe, and go into society and stand for what is true and what is good and what we know to be right. We just continue to let society walk all over us, and now we've gotten to this point. We've allowed this to happen. And it starts in the family, and it works its way all the way to the federal government. Your family, then your church, your local government, your state government, and the federal government. We have failed. And we need to be so much better. I'm so tired of hearing that church and your beliefs cannot at all mix with politics. And I think that is the cowardice excuse of Christian men to get out of having to be involved in society. You know, I don't want my religion to interfere at all with politics. They need to be separate. And while I completely agree that it is God, family, and country, that honoring the Lord and following the Lord comes before politics in every way, shape, and form, there is a time when politics cross over into religion and negatively affect and harm you and society and what you believe to be morally true. We have allowed abortions to run rampant in our country. We have allowed transgender ideology to be taught to our children in our schools, and allowed surgeries to be conducted or at least be pushed for on children underage, and teaching them about cutting off their own genitalia. We have allowed a culture of just loosely doing whatever you want with whoever you want before marriage to run rampant. We have allowed a culture that praises obesity, and the list goes on and on and on. All things that we know to be wrong and that we should not be standing for. And if you're not actively fighting against it, and you're just letting it happen, you're no better than the people, in my opinion, than the people that are wanting it to happen. You're not doing anything to stop it. And again, I'm not very old. I haven't lived very long, but in my short lifetime, I see the same excuse over and over and over and over again from Christian men, and it's that And in my opinion, it's a way for a coward to hide behind something that makes them feel good. My faith is not going to overlap my politics. My faith is more important, and absolutely your faith should be more important. But when the world is forcing ideology upon and into politics that is going directly against what you know to be true and what you find in the Word, then you need to stand up and say, is enough, and I'm not going to allow this to happen in my family. I'm not going to allow this to happen in my community, my church, my state government, my federal government, and we need to be involved. And I know most people can't be at every level. I know not everybody can be at your local, state, and federal government. But you sure as heck can take care of it in your family. You can be a good Christian leader, an example. You can be a good father who teaches and raises godly men and women, godly sons and daughters. You can be a leader to your wife. Then you can go into your community and be a leader in your church and stand for what is good and true and what you know is right. Because there's so many pastors that don't. There's so many pastors that just follow the same thing that I just said and just hide behind the excuse of we just need to preach love. And obviously love is important. It goes without being said, but there's so much more to the Bible. And allowing these things to happen, especially to the most innocent, to children, that is not love. Standing up for them and fighting for them is love. But going into the church and being that leader, even if no one else is willing to, going into your local government and being a leader, your state and federal government, and going and being the example that needs to be set as a Christian man. And again, this is all Christians, women as well, but Christian men. I mean, that's why I started this channel. I was tired of not seeing any other young men who were standing for what is true and right and what needs to happen. And I'm not perfect about this. I failed just like everyone else. But the older generation is not going to be of good Christian men, are not going to be around much longer. And we need young men to start standing up for what is right and what is true and what needs to be said. So, I don't know. I don't want to look back 30 years from now and not have a country that I love around anymore, because the principles that it was founded on got erased because I sat idly by and just watched. I want my kids to grow up in a free country that loves the Lord. That's what I want. So, I digress. But let's talk about Charlie's shirt. This is not something I take lightly. I've thought about this for a while. I don't want people to assume I'm just making this shirt for my own benefit, because I'm not. But I have made Charlie's shirt, the Freedom shirt, the white one that he wore when he was assassinated. And I'm selling that on our website, thewarriorsgardensupplyco.com, because I think it is important. And I'm not, let me get this out there right away, I'm not receiving any of this profit. Every single cent that is made from this shirt will immediately be donated to Turning Point, That way Charlie's mission and goal and his company can continue to spread throughout the nation. So up front, these shirts, any money made for as long as I sell these shirts, as long as they're on the website, as long as they are selling, that money will be given to Turning Point. So get that out front. But why am I making these shirts? Because I thought about this for a while and didn't necessarily know if it was the right thing, but here's what the conclusion I have come to. This gives you a tangible thing to remember what happened. As awful as it is, as awful as Charlie's assassination was, just like anything else in the world, anything else that has happened, as we move away from this, as we get farther and farther away, people will forget. And I don't want to say that lightly again. I know people will remember, but I guess the weight and the heaviness of it, people will forget, and it won't be as real to them as it is right now. And I think by having something tangible that you can pull out of your dresser and look at will help people to remember the significance and the importance of what happened. An attack on America, an attack on society, an attack on free speech, what America was built on, what the foundation. I mean, free speech, that's what all Charlie wanted, was dialect, civil discourse between two people that agreed or didn't agree, that could push ideas and talk and come to a somewhat of an understanding of at least each other and what those people thought. And that was attacked when Charlie was assassinated. And his Christian values as a Christian man were attacked when he was assassinated. And I want this shirt to be something that when you pull out and wear, you remember exactly what happened. You remember the horrific scene that most people saw. You remember what he stood for. And you think to yourself, I need to be better. I need to fight for what is right. I need to stand for what is true, for what I know to be true. I need to fight and stand for my beliefs. And I need to have conversations with the people around me so we don't get to this point of killing, so that we can figure things out before, so we can settle things through discussion and civil discourse. So that's the biggest reason I'm making this shirt, so that we don't forget, so we have something to hold on to that reminds us frequently every time you pull it out or wash it or wear it or whatever, you have that reminder. And also it's conversation starter, because as long as I'm alive and my generation is alive, people are going to know what that shirt is, and I guarantee you it will start conversations, and ultimately that's the goal. So again, I don't take lightly doing the shirt, don't take lightly putting it out there, but I think it's important, and the conclusions that I have come to in remembering Charlie, giving somebody a tangible way to not forget and not lose sight of the weight of what happened on September 10th, and how awful and horrific it really is to Charlie, to his family, and to America. And then on top of that, again, to help support Turning Point. So, I don't know. I encourage you all to be praying for America. I encourage you all to be praying for Charlie's family, for Turning Point. I encourage you all to pray that the Lord would continue to use his death to inspire others to pursue him, to inspire others to stand for what is good, and to crush evil. So, I don't know. That's all I got for you guys today. I guess that wasn't maybe as positive as, maybe my tone wasn't as positive as I wanted it to be, but I'm just frustrated with the state that America is in, and I want to see it return to the values and principles that it was founded on, and standing for what's good. And again, it was an attack on America. Obviously, it was an attack on Charlie, and obviously, that was horrific, but everything he stood for was attacked when he was assassinated. So, I hope you guys are angry about it. I hope you guys are looking to make a difference, and I hope you actually follow through and continue to follow through, and I'm holding myself accountable as well. You know, like I said, I made this channel to pursue the gospel and spreading the gospel. I made this channel to try and encourage young men to stand for what is right and be masculine, and I have not always done that on this channel. I have gotten away from that on this channel, so this is a wake-up call and a reminder to me as well. But I just encourage you guys to do what's right, to follow the Lord. If you haven't already, to give your life to him. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Please share this with people that need to hear it. Let's get this shirt everywhere. Let's have people wearing this shirt. Let's have this shirt on every block and every dresser across the nation, so we don't forget or lose sight of the weight of what really happened. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.